Video games were different before PlayStation. Nintendo and Sega were on top. Then came Sony. Their first PlayStation changed everything. It brought mature games and cool technology to everyone. Over the years, PlayStation grew. Each new console pushed gaming forward. From the original PlayStation to the PS5, Sony's consoles are iconic. This journey of innovation is remarkable. Let's look at how PlayStation evolved. We'll explore each console generation. We'll highlight the key differences. Get ready to relive some gaming history. In 1994, the gaming world met PlayStation. It was a turning point. This wasn't Nintendo anymore. The PlayStation was sleek and powerful. It used CDs for games, a big deal then. This meant better graphics and bigger games. Suddenly, games felt different. Titles like Final Fantasy VII and Metal Gear Solid grabbed players. These games weren't just for kids. They told complex stories. They had amazing characters. The PlayStation wasn't just a console. It was a gateway to a new kind of gaming experience. It was cool to play PlayStation. The console was a phenomenon. The PlayStation 2 arrived in 2000. It was more than just a console. It was a DVD player. This was huge. DVDs were new, and PS2 played them. This made the PS2 popular. It wasn't just for games anymore, but the games. The PS2 had incredible games. Grand Theft Auto 3 changed open world. Shadow of the Colossus was epic. Metal Gear Solid 2 pushed storytelling. The PS2 became the best-selling console ever. The PS2 was a hit, but Sony made it even better. In 2004, they released the PS2 Slim. As the name suggests, it was slimmer. It looked more modern. It was also quieter. The PS2 Slim played all the same games. It was a design upgrade. This made the PS2 even more popular. It showed that Sony cared about design. The PS2 Slim is a classic console. Section 5. PlayStation 3, a high-def future with some bumps. The PlayStation 3 was ambitious. It arrived in 2006 and it promised high-definition gaming. It had a Blu-ray player which was cutting-edge at the time, but the PS3 was expensive. The PS3's design was divisive. Some loved it while others hated it. The PS3 had amazing games like Uncharted 2, The Last of Us and Little Big Planet. These games really showed the PS3's power. But the Xbox 360 was a tough competitor. Section 6. PS3, Slim and Super Slim. Refinement of a generation. Sony learned from the PS3. They released the PS3 Slim in 2009. It was smaller and quieter. It also used less power. Then came the PS3 Super Slim in 2012. It was even smaller. These slimmer PS3s were more affordable. They helped the PS3 catch up. The PS3 became a success. It showed the potential of Blu-ray and high-definition gaming. Section 7. PlayStation 4, a return to glory. The PlayStation 4 launched in 2013. It was a return to form for Sony. The PS4 was easy to use. It had powerful hardware. It focused on gamers. The PS4 was a hit. Games like Spider-Man, God of War, and Horizon Zero Dawn were incredible. The PS4's controller, the DualShock 4, was a huge improvement. It had a touchpad and better buttons. Section 8. PS4. Slim and Pro enhanced experiences. Sony continued to innovate with the PS4. They released the PS4 Slim in 2016. It was smaller and more energy efficient. Then came the PS4 Pro. It offered 4K gaming. The PS4 Pro was for hardcore gamers. It showed that Sony was thinking about the future. The PS4 generation was a massive success. It proved that Sony was back on top. Section 9. PlayStation 5, into the future. The PlayStation 5 arrived in 2020. It's a powerhouse. It has incredible graphics. It uses an SSD for super fast loading. The PS5's DualSense controller is revolutionary. It has haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. This creates amazing immersion. The PS5 is still new, but games like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart and Demon's Souls show its potential. The PS5 is the future of gaming. The PlayStation journey is astounding. From the original to the PS5, Sony has redefined gaming. Each console pushed boundaries. Each generation brought unforgettable experiences. PlayStation is more than just a console. It's a part of gaming history.